there everyone, Luke here, and all I'll say right now is that after this chapter, okay, we've had a few chapters where it's not been focused on Nico in any way. It's just been focusing on the group, the main group of guys, obviously the student council for the past 2 weeks. But okay, now we need to start getting back into finding out what's happening with Nico as soon as possible. But that's something I just wanted to bring up here. So now we'll just move on to talking about chapter 217, titled Romantic Fantasia. God, that's a mouthful for me to get out here. Now, with this chapter, it starts off with them with Kay going on saying, "Hey, I've made a dating simulator game. I had the idea for it stewing in the back of my mind for ages. I finally found someone online who agreed to do the art we plugged away at it ever since." Like, hey, good for you, Kay go. Like, if you've got an idea and you're like really passionate about it, even if other people don't understand it or they think like, oh, this is rubbish, like, how does this make any sense? If you have a passion about it, just go for it. Make those things. You can, as long as you know the steps, know what you want to get from point A to point B, you can achieve anything. Just ask Suika and Dr. Stone. Yeah, I had to bring that up because we got the Suika episode. It was so good. It was so good. Such a good episode. Go and watch Dr. Stone if you haven't been watching it. Like, just that episode, like, I was waiting all season for that episode, and thankfully they did it justice. But yeah, bottom line is, Keigo made the game. I'm very proud of him, just going along, achieving his dreams. As Murray says, most wouldn't think it, but you've actually got a decent skill and motivation, which, yeah, considering the kind of character Keigo is, it's nice that they actually acknowledge, like, hey, you've got skill, you've got motivation, and it's great that you went for it. So now, Mirio's like, hey, let's play the game, and while he's saying it to like tease him mercilessly about it, I think in the back of my mind it's like, hey, he's made a game. I want to play it. Maybe like give us like a beta testing of like what we think and how we think about this and what you can improve on. Like that's actually something that's not a bad idea. Like, hey, he's made the game and he's got a group of people here that can actually test it for him. Hey, go down forgetting that. And he even invites Morihito to take part in it. As Khan says, if he's gonna have fun with a game about dating girls, the only time to do that is not when Nico's around. So yeah, the only time that Mori can actually play a dating simulator game is when the girl that he's in love with is not around. So yeah. Kind of a selfish thing to do here. Like, hey, my girl's up, let's play a dating simulator game. Like, is your girl not good enough for you? But I digress. This is where Keigo starts to explain the actual landscape of the game. So it's a fantasy RPG world. The romance routes are set in a palace-like castle or at a campsite and inns. Then after you confess, you fight the final boss. The whole thing is about telling someone important how you feel right before a big battle. So he obviously took like inspiration from what's been going on in the series right now. Like obviously, if we go back to Day of Disaster, Nico was on the verge of confessing her feelings for Morito, and then we got into the final battle of part 1. He obviously took inspiration from all of that, and he even goes on saying, given how close that is to what you're going through, Morito, I had to ask about all of this. Like I said, taking inspiration from his way, which, hey, that's what you do. Like when you've got ideas, you take inspiration from everything that's going on around you. Like I've done that before with my books. Like I've taken inspiration from my life, put it into my work, like that. Like that with like one of my books about a controlling relationship. Like I've been through that before, where I've had people who have thought with my friends like being controlling and manipulative of me. Don't really want to go back into those thoughts, but I had to bring it up there. And like my next book series is going to be like all centered around that. Like after the book I'm writing right now, that's going to be all it's going to be centered around. Like the story of the friends that I thought were friends who turn out to be like just manipulative cretins or douchebags. So yeah, Keigo obviously taking inspiration from Morihito's life makes sense. And yeah, they say it's just a game. Thanks for the concern, but don't worry about me. I like obviously Keigo feeling like, hey, is this okay for me to actually do this, to actually take inspiration from your life? And Murray's like, yeah, fine, I don't care. And yeah, it would be great practice for them. So they start bringing up the game, and he goes on. Keigo goes on to say, like, just so you know, the game is fully voiced. Leave the default name, and the girls will say it out loud, which is obviously Keigo. So yeah, of course the default name is Keigo. Like, he may have a great idea, but I think Keigo just sucks sometimes when it comes to names. So as the game boots up, we start off in an inn after some sort of adventure where the insert character of Keigo has been returning to, and one of the girls appears, who is a slime girl. No, I don't mean like she's a girl, like a slime. No, she is literally a female slime, like just slimy, jelly body all over the place, called Jelly. Yeah, she's a slime called Jelly. Like, that's real. That's real creative. As they're all like, wait, what the hell is going on here? Who the heck is this? I thought it was supposed to be one of the girls, and Keigo's like, oh no, it is like she's Jelly the slime girl. So yeah, they're all monster girls. Like, it's a romance dating sim involving monster girls, which, hey, creative, I guess. Like, we've never, there's not many like monster girl dating sims out there. But everyone's just like, bro, what is wrong with you? You're supposed to play the heroes of the game. But no, in this game they're literally playing the monster girls to try and get the main character's attention. As Keigo explains, yeah, aren't we going to get Mirio says, like, aren't we going to get the sorcerers and clerics fighting each other for the hero's attention? And Keigo goes on to explain more of the rules of the game, like the love interest in these games are female monsters. All of them are fighting for the attention of the protagonist, who is a werewolf. So yeah, he literally put himself in the game as like the main character of the game. Like, seriously, you couldn't have put in like a vampire or a wizard or a warlock or a wizard or like an ogre. Like, no, it had to be him. It had to be the werewolf. And he continues on and says, after your confession offense, you fight against the human heroes pie and defeat them to beat the game. So basically, the heroes pie is the enemy in this. It's the enemy in this game, which again, very creative, like very reminiscent of like gushing over magical girls. Like like the hero party of the magical girls in that series is the enemy, and you're following the story of the villains. And yeah. Everyone's just freaking out, like, hey, we get that some people like monster girls, but how are we supposed to fall for her when she's literally a slime? And they point out like how realistic the character art is. Like, I can just imagine like when we get to this point, if we ever get to this point in the anime, like it's just gonna be like all just like slimy, icky stuff. Which, by the way, next episode we're getting the jeans chapter. We are finally getting the jeans chapter that I've been waiting for all season of Witch Watch, and I cannot wait for it. So yeah, they continue on by saying that Jelly doesn't even have a face, and what are they supposed to be attracted to here? As the game continues, where it learns that Jelly can heal people just simply by touching them. And yeah, I'm not gonna be going through all the dialogue that's used in the game, because oh boy, it'll be taking forever, because it's a dating sim game, so there's going to be a lot of dialogue, and I'm not going to be like committing myself to going through each and every line of dialogue. So yeah, Jelly can make wounds healed simply by touching them, and yeah, it turns out to be like something of a really, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I seriously don't know how to describe like what they think they're seeing in this game. So as they all question of like, what the hell did you make us just watch here, Keigo? Why couldn't you just make them all human girls? It would be nice to actually see a girl that's actually normal for a change. And yeah, Mirio, despite what he's actually seen, actually admits like, well, yeah, this may have been weird to see, but we have to admit, like, Jelly in this one incident with Keigo, the werewolf in the game, she was a little bit cute for a moment, and Carney even agrees at this point. It's like, yeah, I guess just a teensy bit, and then they all get the idea of like, wait, are we actually getting into this right now? Before they're like, okay, let's see what other things are going to come here. And yeah, sure enough, it gets even crazier when we have a zombie girl who is literally like a walking corpse, who's called Zombie. Not a very clever pun there. And yeah, they even point out like this isn't even a dating sim at all. So yeah, as the game character Zombie says the dialogue, Keigo goes on and says Zombie is undead, so she uses the word die and dying a lot, and everyone is like, seriously? What is wrong with you? Before we have Zombie and Jelly actually bickering for Keigo's attention at this point. So yeah, it's just two girls in the game just fighting over and over again. Like, hey, we're gonna be with Keigo. No, I'm gonna be with Keigo. No, I'm gonna be with Keigo. And yeah, so they get the idea of like, based on what Zombie's dialogue is, like, oh, okay, I get it. So she's a rotten corpse, so she has to be a rotten person. Very clever, Keigo. So yeah, at this point we have the option of like, hey, do we side with Jelly, do we side with Zombie, or just ignore them to play with your phone? It's like not really giving much of a choice here, because all these choices would suck if this was like a real life dating sim game. It's like, how am I supposed to choose between the slime and the zombie, or just playing on my phone here? But yeah, at this point in the story, Jelly just leaves the room, and then everyone is like, now I feel bad. Before they're like, wait, no, we're not getting into this game. Like, what is totally wrong with this game? Nothing, it's done nothing but make me feel horrible. Can we quit now? Like, hey, it's made you feel something, guys. Like, gotta give him credit for that. But yeah, Keigo's just like, no, there are more hot girls, I promise. Like, just keep playing, please just keep playing. And as they keep playing, we have a Minotaur coming in, who is actually, who they actually point out, like, hey, this is actually quite, like, it's the most normal of the girls at this moment in time, because it's literally just human body with a Minotaur head. That's literally all it is. But they keep on calling it a waste or anything, but the fact that she's a Minotaur means she's a bullhead and hoofs all up, so she has like a really hot-tempered personality. But yeah, even though she has a hot-tempered personality, she still can be kind of flustered about like guys actually staring at her, which makes the guys playing the game think like, oh well, I guess she's not bad. Like, if we had to pick one of these girls at this point, we'd definitely pick her. And of course, Keigo has to ruin it by doing the half-fish woman. No, I don't mean that she's a mermaid where she's like a woman on top and fish on the bottom. No, she's literally half woman, half fish. Fish on the top, woman on the bottom. What is this, like Red Dwarf better than life? If anyone gets that reference, I'd be so happy. But yeah, bottom line is that we have Aqua, the half fish woman, coming in with Mino the Minotaur. I forgot, like, Mino's the name of the Minotaur, and the dialogue makes it out so like we have Aqua saying your human animal parts are so neatly separated as opposed to her, and they question like, wait, why is she even bringing this up in the first place? As Keigo says, Aqua has big self-esteem issues because she's only half human. She feels like she's inferior. Like, oh my god, if this was in One Piece, like, this would be like the most depressing backstory ever. Like, literally, this character would fit right in One Piece as like a character Oda would think make and be like, what is that character like? Why does she look like that? And then you get like the depressing backstories. Oh my god, we love her so much. But yeah, bottom line is that Aqua has self-esteem about the way she looks and everything. Before we continue on, where we have a golem who is called Rocky. Like, seriously, at this point, yeah, someone points out, like, you clearly got bored of coming up with names by this point. Like, literally, you have a rock golem, call it Rocky, like, that's really the most basic, unoriginal name you could think of, Keigo. But yeah, we have Rocky, who's just blurts out the the love confession, and they like, oh, why has she actually done that? Like, is this part of her personality? And they go on to confer, like, oh, she's a golem, so her personality is blunt as bricks. And yeah, literally at this point you can see Muriel being like, oh, okay, I get it now, like, oh, this is getting interesting right now. And literally, despite the fact that they were dreading, like, this game is the most awful thing ever, you couldn't come up with anything more like crazy, like, this makes absolutely no sense. They're now literally getting into it, and sure enough, it only took them a few hours before they're like, okay, we are officially hooked on it, and the old bickering between the girls, and how quickly they're getting jealous of all the characters, and Khan says, like, oh, they're all blushes and sweets, they all love me too. Like, it's literally like one of those games where you're like, I'm not gonna get into it, or one of those series like, oh, you can't make me get into this, like, this makes absolutely no sense, this is absolutely crazy, how am I getting into this? Like, oh my god, why didn't I get into this sooner? Like, this kind of like that attitude they've got going on here. As the kids here on say, like, man, there goes Shally again. She's totally bashing Zombie in one of her messages. You could say she's slimy, but both figuratively and literally. We ought to do something to cheer her up. As Mira says, like, oh, we just ran into Mino, the Minotaur again. As Mino in the game is discussing, like, the schedules. It's already packed with dates with the other girls, and there just isn't enough hours in the day for all of this, for like actually getting Mino into a proper date with the MC of the game. So they're going to be like, okay, let's have her wait till next week for the date. We'll just hit her up in the cafe, give her a few random compliments, and keep up the romance. So even like just random comments in this game are just like, okay, yeah, that's enough to keep the romance alive. And yeah, Mirio and Khan are just going like, okay, speaking of romance mirrors, we've got to look on Aqua's right now. It's probably because last week we screwed her up and invited her out for sushi, which was probably an insult considering she's a fish. I mean, you can see Mori in the background just being like, this is getting way out of hand here. And sure enough, as they continue to keep going on and saying, not going on, like, it feels really good being popular with the ladies, even if it's iffy, the fact that all monster goes and it's like no single normal human in this game. They're still keeping up with it and keeping up with, like, building up, like, the romance bridges and thinking, like, okay, which route do we take here? And this is where Mori snaps. It's just like, knock it off right now. What is it with your attitudes? You're being extremely rude to these women. So he wasn't like getting annoyed by the match play game. He was getting annoyed by the fact that they weren't being romantic enough with the women in the game. So even he got into it just as much as the others got into it, which is just like the most hilarious thing ever. So now Murray is like, okay guys, I've got to give you a lesson in how you actually treat these girls. Don't bore them up, string them along, because that's just, it isn't fun. Even in a game world, if you owe it to them to think about this seriously and give them an honest answer, like, okay, which route are you going to take in this game? And yeah, they point out, like, oh, Morihito, you got hit way too hard by this. So you're stuck in worry mode over exactly this kind of thing of what Nico is actually saying. So like he's saying, like, don't butter them up, don't string them on, just give them an honest answer because they've poured their heart and soul into it. So now Murray's gotta pour his heart and soul into thinking like, okay, how can I make Nico feel the way that I feel? Like, do I feel romantic things for Nico at this point? But yeah, it's still, he has a point, so they ought to pick out one of the girls and then take her feeling seriously. So that they're starting to think like, oh, okay, which one should we pick? Which one should we pick? We can't say both. Why don't we say both of them at the same time? So yeah, they're just like, okay, you'll say one, I'll say one, on three, 1, 2, 3, and they don't pick one. So oh no, they don't pick one, so they're like, okay, we're just gonna pick one, so they pick the Minotaur, probably because she's the most human out of all of them. But also, with someone as sweet as Mino, how can we possibly pick anyone else? But at this point, Keiko's like, no, wait, that's not how the game's supposed to play. That's not how the game's supposed to play. You haven't been it yet. You can't show off the game. You got to do something else right now. Don't you remember I told you that the game isn't over until you defeat the final boss party, the hero party? And yeah, this is where like, okay, yeah, I did mention you saying something like that, but don't you need a party for a fight? And yeah, this is where all the other girls in the game are just there like, oh, you picked her over us? Well, screw you, guy. We're not going to help you in the fight. So yeah, they're really not into that. And as a result, like the hero party in the game just decimates them at the end, because it's kind of like this game kind of like works on the Pokemon level system, where it's like in Pokemon, if your Pokemons are high enough level, they won't listen to you because you're not strong enough. It's kind of the same thing here, because the guys picked one of the girls, all the other girls are like, okay, our relationship's not as strong as them one, so we're not going to listen to you, and they're just going to follow they're just going to play by their own rules. And this is where Keiko says, yeah, that wasn't the best strategy for the game. You're not supposed to pick one of the girls, you have to butter them up and string them along. Like, seriously, how is Nemu going to have a relationship with this guy at times? Like, hey, I'm all for the Keigo Nemu relationship, but how are they going to have a relationship at times? And yeah, Keigo continues on and says, and keep everybody's romance meters nicely balanced for it to work. So in order to truly beat the game, you have to romance everyone. What is this, 100 girlfriends? Is this a 100 girlfriends reference? But yeah, Khan and Mirio are just there like, oh, not only have you made this game more complicated than it actually is, that you've also made Morihito just feel more depressed than ever about the whole situation. So yeah, that's where the chapter ends. Like I said before, it's a nice chapter. It's a really interesting way to see like Keigo slowly again coming out of his shell and developing and trying to be. It's kind of reminiscent of when he did the Ouroboros game and how bad that was. It's kind of like a natural progression of that game, but at the same time, like I said, we've got to move back to Nico at this point. We've got to like get the story really back up and going, because there's a lot of story thread that we still have to cover in the series. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.